Chinese military general and philosopher Sun Tzu once said, and I quote, "In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity," unquote. This does resonate when we look at what's happening in Gaza between IDF troops and Hamas. Throughout the 15 months long Gaza war, the balance between military objectives, humanitarian crisis, and political strategies have been in constant flux. With the ceasefire deal in place, one of the most pressing developments is the return of up to 1 million Palestinians to northern Gaza, a region that was previously cleared of civilians by Israel to allow easy targeting of Hamas hubs and operatives, is now once again a region fraught with questions and shifting dynamics. Remember, before the ceasefire deal, Israel's strategy was very clear from the very start, and that is to force as many Palestinians as possible to evacuate from northern Gaza. Now that the civilians are returning to their homes in Gaza, the nature of IDF's military strategies are bound to undergo a dramatic shift. Not to forget that now the densely packed, narrow lanes of Gaza have been reduced to rubble and swaths of unrecognizable territory. So this brings us to a crucial question. How will Israel conduct operations against Hamas in a densely populated, highly volatile area filled with civilians? At the beginning of the war, with northern Gaza cleared of civilians, IDF enjoyed the privilege of quickly moving in with a small troop to clear out Hamas operatives. The reason being twofold. One, it gave the Israeli Defense Forces the operational space to target Hamas more effectively. And two, it placed pressure on the militant group by stripping away its claim to control that territory. Now just imagine this. With Gaza's homes reduced to rubble and Palestinians returning to their devastated land, where can the IDF strike to target Hamas in such a situation? Precision strike in this situation becomes impossible. So does it mean bombing would now directly eliminate civilians left out in the open after 15 months long war? And if IDF is forced to strike in the wake of Hamas rearming, will it risk establishing the genocide charge against it? So clearly, the stakes have never been any higher. Now, given a situation like this, as per reports, the only possible solution for IDF can be the use of smaller and more localized military operations. However, these may not work either. Here, the release of hostages adds a complex layer to the whole situation. Remember, while hostages have been released by Hamas, in return, the Palestinian prisoners have also been released. Now, some of these prisoners include people who are currently serving life sentence. The release of these Palestinian prisoners can encourage Hamas regrouping and re-emergence. So does Israel risk losing leverage over Hamas? The statements from Israeli officials that if necessary, we will return to war carry a heavy weight in the current context. Because, lest we forget that the war is not what it was when it first started back in October 2023. Prisoners are out, Palestinians are back, and old tactics may not work. So, while the future of Gaza is uncertain, IDF's motives are the same, but the landscape has irrevocably changed.